Hey, welcome back. It's another beautiful day here in southern Indiana. I'm at the Freedom Farm. We're going to play around today. I got a new little toy I want to show you. Today we're checking out the Cronus BTR Gen 2 4.5 by 29. We'll get this mounted up today and get it adjusted, get it situated, so to speak. I took this off. This is what I've been shooting. This is the tracked Toric HD Ultra. And that is 4.5 by 30. This is on Darth Sidious here. I reached out to a bunch of different companies. I said, hey, I'm building this new gun. Help me out here a little bit. Give me something to play with. Some of them said, your channel's not big enough. So I need you to hit that like and subscribe button down there. Share these videos. YouTube just knocked me almost 2,000 subscribers last month. So be sure to hit that like and sub button. Others said that my channel didn't align. I can't help that. Maybe they didn't like my sense of humor, my political stance, or whatever. I don't really care.
I don't really care, Margaret.
I'm just out here doing me. As you know or don't know, I'm a 16-time NMLRA national champion. I love to shoot, love to play on the farm. I came down here today just to do that. Actually, I came down here to pull some cards off my trail cams to see what was lurking about. But I had to bring this scope down because I've been excited about it. So thank you very much, Athlon. Thanks for stepping up. I will give you my honest opinions about this. We're going to do a little comparison today, kinda, between two scopes that would be considered probably second tier, top of the line second tier scopes. To me, it don't matter, man. It's all good by me. So we're going to check these out. I'm going to kind of be comparing the features to this tracked Toric. Been really happy with that. But we're going to check them out, compare them to this Athlon. I will tell you this, the Athlon did not come with any caps, nor did it come with the sunshade. The sunshade is for the tracked. It's not very sunny today, so I'm not going to need it. But just an FYI, they doesn't come with a cover, caps, or a shade. I ain't complaining though. They did send me a set of scope rings for this. I do not have those on there today. What I have on there today is the Area 419. On some upcoming videos, I've come up with a new invention, a new shooting accessory. It pertains to the scope mount. It pertains to a couple of others. Finally got a closing. I'm going to have some extra money, so I'm going to order one of those first of this coming week. Get that in. I'm going to get the patent paperwork in as well. I already have the prototype, so I'm going to play with that today before I move too far forward to work out some tweaks. Can't show you that just yet, but we are going to check these out today, and I'll give you my thoughts. Stick around. If you want all that stuff like tracking tests and specs on this, weight, and blah, 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 check out Cyclops Optics. I tell you what, Joe Raya, he subbed my channel. I was like, man, I feel like royalty has joined me. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. You're a badass one-eyed motherfucker. He cusses like a drunken sailor.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor?
Somewhat like myself. So fuck it. Go check out Cyclops videos. Joe Reyes Cyclops videos. He does all kinds of scope reviews and shooting shit too. I'll put a link to his channel in my description below. What we're shooting today is the Masterpiece Arms. This is the BA Comp chassis. I have the Origin Action on it. It's got a switch lug. I can change barrels on this pretty easily. I do have KRG coming to the table for that new build, and I'm very excited about that. I want to dedicate a rifle to competition. This has been just fine. It's got my feet wet, so to speak, but I've learned a lot of things since I started this journey down the PRS competition circuit. I've learned a lot of things that would be good and a lot of things that are bad, what to do, not to do, yada yada. That is part of shooting and competition in general. PRS is just a big old game, y'all. Just got to figure it out. That's what I've been trying to do for a few years now. I'm going to dedicate a rifle to that. I'm always out here playing with this, switching barrels, switching brakes. It's kind of been a test rifle for me, which has been fine, but In order to get good with something and around, you got to know if there's a 7-mile-an-hour wind, it's going to be a 0.5 mil hold. You got to know and be so familiar with your gun and your cartridge that everything's like clockwork. Last thing you need is variables, right? So I am going to dedicate a new build just for that. In the meantime, I'm having a hard time getting stuff. So it may take a little bit. I may switch this action and barrel out to that new chassis until other things can come in or be acquired or whatever. Be sure to tune back in for that journey, y'all. I'm gonna get this adjusted up. All right, at home I tried to get this scope leveled. I have that Short Action Customs pick rail. I think it's Short Action Customs. I don't know. I'll have to put it up on the screen right here, right now. I can't remember off the top of my head. To level scopes, and I had it perfectly level. I get it on the gun, and it looked funny. I was like, I'm not so sure that's level. And I put a level on that pick rail, on the flat of it. It was level, but when I put it up on the flats of the pick rail was not level. So I don't know. I just put my send it level on the gun and this up on the scope, which your scope caps aren't always level either. Level on the bubble and the scope, and this looks canted. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. All right, I kind of bore sighted. I did mess with the scope and level it a little bit more. I think it's cool when you get another person that you watch on YouTube or admire for their work or what they do sub your channel. The guy who built this gun, I think he follows me. Thank you, Kenny. Joe, thanks for the sub. It's also cool too being out on the circuit shooting a match and someone goes, hey man, I watch your channel. That's pretty cool. As you know, I'm just out here doing me. I'm not out here to please anybody. I'm a slave to no one, and I just do what I do. Thanks for joining in. Let me see if we are even close here. Well, shit. I thought this case had my 6 ARC in it. It's got the 6.5 Creedmoor from the last video I did, shooting through the brush. If you haven't checked out that video, do so. I'll put a link in the description below. I shot a 450 Bushmaster and a 6.5 Creedmoor through a bunch of brush to see which was the better brush gun. You'd be quite amazed, really. I was. But anyway, so I'm in the back of the truck. I did find some 6 ARC ELDX 103 grain. So unfortunately I gotta burn this up, but at least we can shoot today. It is therapy for me. I love to come down here and I love to shoot. What my original purpose today, pull some trail cams, but as stated, I was so excited to have this new scope. I just had to come down here and shoot something. So I gotta use this factory ammo 103 grain ELDX 6 ARC. At least we get to celebrate our freedoms today. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Comment below who you think, Eagles or the Chiefs. I really can't stand either one. You know, this Traktoric Ultra HD is supposed to have German shot glass. I believe it is. Now, you know, just because it's shot glass doesn't mean it's good. Just like a doctor may not always be the best. I want the doctor that passed medical school with straight A's, not the doctor who got his medical degree passing with D's. So, you know, you can say it's shot glass and whatnot. How big of a deal is it? I don't know. You know, it's maybe marketing. It is an overcast day today. They both look very clear. I'm gonna grab some paint up this target. All right, I got it all painted up. I was on the plate, which is pretty cool for the first shot. Let's see how far we are off center or not. High center. See if I shoot a little group here. Windage is good. Elevation is off. It should be pretty close to. I'm going to aim at the left bolt. High right. Yep, nailed that bolt. Just like that. 1, 2, 3 shots. I got to sight it in. I'm going to zero out these scope caps here. All right, I got her zeroed out. Just a comparison here. I really like the size of the knobs on this tract. All right, they're big, but they lock and they pop out. And once this top one pops out, you're sitting pretty tall. Adjustment smooth. And you know me with audible and tactile, that's something I do not say. Drives me nuts. But for comparison, it's really smooth. This one, huge difference. They are positive clicks. There we go. This one I notice in competition, you know, you're under strain or shooting and whatnot, you'd spin, it almost spins too easy. It is really smooth though. Shoot a little bit more here. In terms of image quality, really sharp. I really like the reticle on this too. The reticles are very similar. I don't have my scope camera today, so we're not going to do any of that footage, but these are what I would call top second tier glass, according to people. This is made in Japan. It's supposed to have German glass, I think. This is made in the USA. Component wise, glass wise, it may come from China, it may come from Japan. I don't really know. So it's good to have something from America. This is probably assembled in America. I don't know. I'll have to read their shit. It's been a while. Refresh my memory. I dig it, y'all. It's a nice scope. I really like the reticle. Yeah, it's a nice scope. Thank you very much, Athlon. I'm going to be using it this year in competition. I'm going to be making that new build too and featuring it. And I'm going to be featuring my new stabilization device. Once I get that up and running, I got it 3D printed earlier this week. I'm going to get it to a CNC shop. Have them cut me one. The eye box on this is tight. I'm dialed up to 29. These scope rings are 1.5 inch high scope rings. I really wanted to change things around. I've got this cheek rest down all the way. I want my head in more of an upright position. This tract, the scope mount on it, I don't think it was 1.5 inches. I thought it was. I think it may be 1 inch. And I found myself getting down trying to find the reticle. Whereas this, I just get it right on my cheekbone, and right there it is. A little left to center, but that will do, pig. That will do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
All right, initial thoughts on this thing. As good as the tract, if not maybe a little better. If I can get on a brighter day, I will come out here and do a comparison on both of these with the scope camera. Now, you know, people always say, well, can't really tell. It doesn't look as good through the camera, so I don't know what the point of it is, really. But I find myself sitting there watching people's reticles, just like I'm sure you do, and it seems to be like an industry standard that I need to do in order to tell you if something's good or not. So we'll give it a shot one of these days. In terms of chromatic aberration, again, I don't know if it's a nice enough day to be able to tell. And honestly, you know, for me, I'm not sure it's that big of a deal. I'm not looking at the edge of my glass when I'm looking at a target anyway. Everything's real crisp, and I like the reticle. I like the picture. Eye box is a little tight. Eye box is a little tight on this too. I don't know how the parallax, if it's forgiving or not, but I am going to I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to go up to some barricades with a bag and put my device on this thing and play around a little bit and see if I need to tweak it anymore. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. These are my initial thoughts on this Athlon Cronus. Good job, Athlon, and thank you very much. Till next time, stay safe, stay free. I'll see you soon. Sometimes you find weird things. Walking out to paint the target. Can't wait to dance and sing with you in heaven. You're so loved, Miss Tracy. There you go. Someone obviously passed away and they let the balloons loose on it. Wonder how many miles that traveled before it found its way on my property.
That's all, folks.